Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be picking out my November TBR. I'm doing quite well with getting my TBR down. I'm trying to get it into the 20s by the end of the year. I think I'm currently on 34. Actually no, I'm not, because I bought books the other day. Today I have a mixture of books that I've already set out that are like my priority books, and then we will also be using the dreaded TBR jar.
There's so much you don't know about me.
Like what, are you like an axe murderer?
Worse,
What?
I'm a gamer.
Before we fully get into the video, I promised I'd give my thoughts and feelings on my most recent read, Pet Sematary by Mr. Stephen King. I read this book in my last reading vlog. I didn't get around to finishing it in the vlog. I finished it last night, the day after I uploaded the vlog, and I would just like to say that I absolutely loved it. I loved it so much. 5 stars. It was amazing. I read it with both my eyeballs and I also listened to the audiobook for like a more immersive reading experience. I'm really enjoying doing that recently. I feel like I take it in much better. I end up reading it faster. Like, that has become my new favourite way to read, and I fear that I'm getting to a point where I can't read without the audiobook. Maybe it's the attention span, maybe it's Maybelline. Who knows? One thing I would say if you were to listen to the audiobook is, I don't know if it's the correlation between the UK and the American publishing, but the audiobook would miss out large chunks of text. And it was quite jarring when I was reading along with it. Sometimes it'd be like whole paragraphs, sometimes it'd be like a sentence or two. With some audiobooks I know that sometimes they do like change up the wording, which I think is to do with the UK versus American publishing, but it was very noticeable in this book, and I don't know why they got rid of large chunks. Like, I don't know if it had been the audiobook was like a more edited version of this book. This edition only came out in 2011, so it's not like it's like the original 1984 edition. I would just like to point that out. If you are looking to do an immersive read with this book, just be wary that it does miss out chunks of text. Nothing important, it was just quite jarring when you're reading along and listening to it and it just misses out a whole bit of text on the page. That being said, it didn't ruin my reading experience and I still gave it an easy 5 stars. The ending to this book was truly insane. Lewis was so unhinged. He went off the rails, or you could say he went off the main track. I'd say the last 60 or so pages of the book were my favourite. It was so tense. Each chapter would end on a cliffhanger. Then you'd go to a different person's perspective and they'd be equally having maybe an even worse time than what the previous person was having. It was just insane. I couldn't put it down. When I finished the book, I just had to stare at the wall in silence, because I have never read an ending like this that was just so bam, 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 bam. Like, I have so many more questions about the ending. Not that it needs explaining, but I just need clarity. I need to know what happened. What about Ellie? Now, onto the actual video. First book I would like to read during November, and I think I'm actually going to read this once I finish this video, is Wild Reference by Miss Rebecca Ross. I read Divine Rivals, it's right here, earlier this year, and I think it's my favourite duology. Maybe it's in my top 5 series of all time as well. It was Roman Kitts, love of my life. His top boyfriends. It goes Aaron Warner, Jackson Once Upon a Broken Heart, and Roman Kitts. Oh, and Sam Lloyd from The Diviners, number 1. So a bit of background to the series. Divine Rivals is a fantasy romance. Would you say it's romantasy? Actually, I'd say the romance is at the forefront of the story, but that's not to say that the fantasy isn't good. The world building divine. It's set in a World War I environment, but instead of the Nazis, they're fighting and going up against the gods. Our main character, Iris Winnow, is a writer for her local newspaper, and when she gets the chance to report from the front lines, she jumps at the opportunity, as she believes it will give her an opportunity to find out more about her brother, who she believes is missing since he has recently stopped responding to her letters, and rightly so. She's getting very stressed and worried that something severe may have happened to him. It features academic rivals to lovers, magical typewriters, and a whole lot of yearning. Read this series if you have not read this series. I cannot put into words how good it is. So I, for one, am very excited to read Wild Reverence. I believe this book serves as a prequel to Divine Rivals. I think it's set many years prior to the original series, and instead of focusing on the mortal world, it focuses more on the gods, which we learn a bit more about the gods and what their deal is and what they want a bit more in the second book of Divine Rivals, which is called Ruthless Vows. The main character within this book is Matilda, who is the youngest goddess of her clan, and she possesses the abilities to pass along messages and letters through the different realms. And then again, just like Divine Rivals, there is also, I believe it's set dual POV, yes, and we follow Vincent, who is a mortal, and he dreams of Matilda, and on one of the darkest days of his life he writes her a letter. She responds. Now I'm very excited to read this. The cover is stunning, and there's also stunning character art. Wow, there's a dragon. I'm so excited. I cannot wait, and I think I might start this once I've finished filming, so I best get to hurry on. Keeping on the fantastical theme, my next book that I want to get round to within this month is Uncharmed by the wonderful Miss Lucy Jane Wood. I read Bewitched last year. Did it come out last year? Yes, last year when it came out. Read it on release day, read it in like 2 days, absolutely loved it. It is the epitome of cozy whimsical fantasy. So much fun. Witches, cats. I believe you can read this one without reading Bewitched. I think they're like interconnected standalones, but I believe there's a few references to the original book, so I'm very excited to read this. Also, once again, look at this cover. This book follows Andromeda Wildwood, or Annie for short, who is essentially Mary Poppins in a witch form, who has a magical cat called Karma. Actually, would you say that Mary Poppins is a witch? She has magic. Conspiracy theory. Hey guys. The reason why I say she's Mary Poppins is because she's practically perfect in every way. She's a perfectionist. I mean, I read the dedication. Oh, I forgot it was signed. I read the dedication and I feel like it's gonna hit hard. I feel like it's for the eldest daughters. Oh. To the daughters who fix it all for everyone, you deserve the same magic that you give to others. Time to cry. So just like Bewitched, this book is set in the real world, but obviously our main character has magical powers, and no one in the real world knows about this magic apart from her coven, which is hidden away. It's a bit like, what's that place called in Harry Potter? It just appears in between houses. Really gonna bug me that I can't remember the name. So yes, Annie works at a bakery and it's all cozy and lovely. It's a perfectionist. She does everything by the book. You know how the story goes. Until she gets set with a orphaned witch named Maeve, and she has to keep Maeve under control, help her harness her powers for good. Along the way, Annie will learn that maybe not everything has to be perfect, and I think it's going to be a journey of self-discovery, think there's a little bit of a romance in it with a grumpy man. I think he's a warlock. I'm very excited. Hopefully the TBR jar is kind to me, but I'm hoping November is a cozy fantasy month because we're already off to a good start. So we have 2 books that I've got set out. There are a few other ones that I would like to maybe get to, but those 2 are the priorities. Ones I'm hoping for in the TBR jar is We Sold Our Souls by Grady Hendrix. I've heard a lot of good things about this recently, and it's the only Grady Hendrix book that I haven't read yet. And also The Only One Left by Riley Sager, because Riley Sager can do no wrong in my eyes. Okay, you guys can read it first. Can you? Can't even read that, okay. Ooh, okay, we are on the fantasy kick. A Darker Shade of Magic. I'm a bit scared about this one, but okay. That's exciting. And then we'll do maybe 3. Oh, this is a big one. What's this one? Upside Down. Ooh. I'm also excited for this one. Wake Up and Open Your Eyes, which is a horror. Exciting. One more TBR jar pick. What does that say? Oh my god, we have got 3 very good picks. The Looking Glass Sound by Katrina Ward. Oh my gosh. Okay, this was a good pick. Sorry for all the mean things I said about you, TBR jar. The books we picked out were A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. I'm scared for this one, but also excited. The only V.E. Schwab book I've read before is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which I really enjoyed. I just feel like V.E. Schwab is very, not high fantasy, but they're very big in the fantasy world. I'm on my introduction phase to fantasy. Mainly YA fantasy at the moment, and I don't think this is YA. But I will for sure give it a go. And I also think this is part of a very big series. And then next up we had Wake Up and Open Your Eyes by Clay McLeod Chapman. Don't know how you say the middle name. Clay Chapman. This is a horror book which I'm very excited for. I can't remember where I first heard this from. Don't know if it's from TikTok or BookTube, but I'm very excited to read this book. Basically about this man, and he goes round to his parents' house and they're all just blank faced staring at the TV like they're in a trance. They believe, oh, here we go. Maybe I'll read the blurb, huh? Noah Fairchild has been losing his formerly polite southern parents to far-right cable news for years. So when his mother leaves him a voicemail warning him that the Great Reckoning is here, he assumes it's related to one of the many conspiracy theories she believes in. But when his own phone calls go unanswered, Noah makes a long drive from Brooklyn to Richmond, Virginia. There he discovers his childhood home in shambles, a fridge full of spoilt food, and his parents locked in a terrifying trance-like state in front of the TV. Panicked, Noah attempts to snap them out of it and get medical help, and then Noah's mother brutally attacks him. That sounds so good. I love stuff with like cults, and don't know if there is religious imagery in this, but I just love it. I think this is going to be right down my alley. And it is also blurbed by Mr. Jordan Peele himself, so Jordan Peele is one of my favourite horror directors, so I'm really hoping I will like this. I think I might read this soon. Hey, what about within November? And then last up, we picked The Looking Glass Sound by Katrina Ward. Don't really know too much what this is about. All I know is that it's by the same author that wrote The Last House on Needler Street, which is probably in my top 3 favourite books of all time. I absolutely adored that book. I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was really well written. The message behind it was so interesting, and really enjoyed it. So when I saw, I don't know if this is a recent book. Okay, it came out in 2023. I think we have a good run up. I don't know if we'll get to all of these because I'm roughly reading about a book a week, but oh my god, we're going to give it a very good go because that's what we're all about on this channel. Hell yeah. I think I could maybe get through these if I stick my mind to it. It's the 2nd of November today, so we have how many days in November? 30 days of September, April, June and November. Oh, we're a shorter month this month, but, and I do have a lot going on this month. Here we go. Here is the, just realised I have that one upside down. The TBR for the month, and I think we're gonna have a great time. But anyway, I hope you have all enjoyed this video. If you have, make sure you give it a big old thumbs up and let me know what your TBR is for the month, because I would love to know. And if you have read any of these books, please do let me know. Unless they're bad thoughts, then I wouldn't like to know. But anyway, I hope you have all enjoyed, and I will see you all very soon with another video. Goodbye.